I'm Sabrina Zainal, and this is Nightline, the top stories. Acid attack victim Faisal Halim considers quitting football. Zain Ryan murder probe, parents plead not guilty to child neglect. And United States returns over 720 million ringgit to Malaysia. Good morning. We begin with this story. Selangor FC key player Faisal Halim, who also plays for the national team, Harimau Malaya, contemplated ending his football career and forfeiting his substantial salary after he was splashed with acid by an unknown assailant on May 5th. The 26-year-old Pulau Pinang native felt that the safety of his family was more important and did not want to live in fear due to the unexpected incident.
Saya sanggup hilang gaji saya berpuluh ribu untuk berhenti bermain bola. Asalkan saya selamat, keluarga saya semua selamat. Tapi apa yang semangat Datuk janjikan kepada saya, pada keluarga saya, Miki, saya tahu awak mampu teruskan. Saya jaminkan keselamatan awak dan keluarga. Pada itulah saya bermula bersemangat untuk teruskan semangat saya untuk bermain bola balik.
Faisal said this after making his first public appearance at the Selangor FC training centre in Shah Alam on Thursday. The national player also acknowledged that now is the time for him to focus on his recovery before thinking about returning to shine on the football field.
Sejujurnya, saya memang amat rindukan bola sepak, baik berlatih maupun bermain. Bukan mudah untuk saya terlantar di rumah dengan sekadar menonton pasukan Selangor dan Malaysia bermain melalui televisyen. Kaki memang menggigil, hati memang meronta-ronta untuk bermain. Namun, buat masa sekarang, saya harus fokus untuk proses pemulihan dan rehab.
When asked if he could recount the incident, Faisal said he did not want to dwell on it and preferred to move forward with all the support given to him. He also hoped that the perpetrator will be caught soon and be prosecuted in court. Faisal suffered fourth-degree burns after being splashed with acid by an unknown assailant at a shopping centre in Petaling Jaya on May 5th. On May 25th, Selangor FC confirmed that the winger was discharged from a private hospital after undergoing 4 surgeries following the incident. After 13 days under police remand, the parents of autistic boy Zain Ryan Abdul Mateen were charged in the Petaling Jaya Sessions Court on Thursday with negligence, which potentially caused physical injury to the child in December last year. Zaim Ikwan Zahari and Ismanira Abdul Manaf, both 29 years old, pleaded not guilty after the charges were read to them before Judge Shahliza Warno. According to the charges, the couple is jointly accused of neglecting their 6-year-old son, Zain Ryan, potentially causing physical injury. The offence allegedly took place around Jalan PJU Damansara Damai between 12 p.m. on December 5th and 9:55 p.m. on December 6th. The charges were brought under Section 31(1)A of the Child Act 2001, read together with Section 34 of the same Act, which provides for a maximum fine of 50,000 ringgit or imprisonment of up to 20 years or both upon conviction. Deputy Public Prosecutors Kuhayati Kuharon and Ahmad Zuhaini Muhammad Amin appeared for the prosecution, while lawyers Fahmi Abdul Moin and Mahmud Jumaat represented Zaim Ikwan and Ismanira respectively. The judge allowed bail at 10,000 ringgit each with one surety, with additional conditions of reporting monthly to the nearby police station and ensuring neither accused nor the representatives tamper with prosecution witnesses until the case is concluded. July 26th has been scheduled for case mention. Meanwhile, after 192 days, the investigation into the murder case of Zain Ryan has led to both his parents being charged at the Petaling Jaya Sessions Court on Thursday. Despite being proud of the achievements of his subordinates, Bukit Aman's Federal Criminal Investigation Department Director, Datuk Sri Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain, said the murder case of the special needs child had a close, yet far from expected outcome. In a special media conference at Bukit Aman, Shuhaili said this was because the outcome of the case did not lead to the expected charge under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder, but that under Section 31 of the Child Act 2001. Shuhaili, however, acknowledged that the decision to charge under the Child Act was the best possible outcome as agreed upon by the Prosecution and Legal Division D5 of the CID and the Deputy Public Prosecutor's Office.
Kita tersentuh, semua masyarakat tersentuh. Saya rasa bukan pihak polis saja. Ya, orang awam juga tersentuh yang ekspektasi diorang mungkin ini ada sedikit anti-climax dan sebagainya. That is the process of laws. Itu proses undang-undang. Ada banyak lagi kes. That's why orang kata justice is blind. Yeah.
He said police used all the provisions within their jurisdiction in investigating the case, including blocking communication between the victim's parents and their lawyers during the remand period since June 1st. Muhammad Shuhaili said the special team established to investigate the case has worked tirelessly to examine all evidence, closed-circuit camera footage, as well as pathology and autopsy reports related to the murder. He also urged the public to refrain from making speculative statements or spreading inaccurate information regarding the investigation. He emphasized that the complete evidence would be revealed during the court proceedings expected in July.
In a related development, Zain Ryan's paternal grandparents were released on police bail on Thursday. Petaling Jaya District Police Chief ACP Shahrul Nizam Jafar, when contacted, confirmed the release.
Zahari Muhammad Reba and Hasni Zakaria, both 56, were seen leaving the Petaling Jaya District Police Headquarters at about 2:34 p.m. However, according to their lawyer, the victims' grandparents will be required to report to the Petaling Jaya District Police Headquarters every month.
Saya berterima kasihlah memang profesional pihak PDRM ni. Okay. Yang kedua, saya pun tak cukup tidur daripada semalam pakai baju ni je. Jadi saya nak balik berehat, saya nak tengok anak dengan menantu saya kat rumah. Itu saja yang saya boleh sampaikan petang ni.
On Wednesday, Selangor police arrested the couple at about 2:30 p.m. Selangor Police Chief Dato Hussein Omar Khan said they were held to assist in the investigation into Zain Ryan's murder.
Moving on, the United States has returned approximately 721.4 million ringgit in One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB-related funds to Malaysia, which was confirmed by the U.S. Embassy in Kuala Lumpur on Thursday. The embassy said that the sum represented the fourth installment of funds recovered from asset seizures related to the state investment arm. In a press release issued by the embassy, U.S. Ambassador to Malaysia Edgar D. Kagan stated that Washington is pleased to have recovered and assisted in recovering approximately 6.6 billion ringgit misappropriated from Malaysia, which can now finally be used for its intended purpose to improve the lives of everyday Malaysians. The embassy stated that Kagan also met with Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim last Tuesday to confirm the return of the recovered 1MDB-related funds. These funds are being returned pursuant to the remission petition submitted by the Government of Malaysia and approved by the U.S. Department of Justice. The statement also mentioned that the U.S. government remained committed to recovering and returning additional funds stolen from 1MDB to Malaysia. 11 customs officers were among 17 people arrested by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, as part of its ongoing probe into a smuggling syndicate at Port Klang, which resulted in the loss of tax revenue of about 3.5 billion ringgit. Also seized was some 4.4 million ringgit in cash from the customs officers, which is believed to have been obtained through bribes.
According to a source, the MACC also seized a piece of land, a Toyota Alphard worth over 200,000 ringgit, a used BMW car, 4 Yamaha X-Max motorcycles valued at 112,000 ringgit, jewelry and luxury watches, all of which were purchased in cash. The source said that all the seizures were paid for with the proceeds of corruption. As a result of the investigation, a total of 2 million ringgit has also been frozen in 12 company and individual bank accounts. The MACC, in collaboration with the Royal Malaysian Customs Department, has also inspected all 19 seized containers. The syndicate has made false declarations by declaring items such as wheelchairs, toilets, textiles, and tax-free health equipment However, the inspection found that all the containers contained various other items, including LED lights, solar panel boards, solar lights, motorcycle accessories, sport rims, vehicles, vehicle spare parts, clothes, Chinese tea, and canned processed pork. The total estimated value of the 19 containers, including taxes to be paid, is believed to reach millions of ringgit. This has been one of the MACC's biggest successes in curbing the issue of corruption among law enforcement officers and the issue of leakage of national revenue.
In the meantime, MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki said that authorities will be working closely with the Attorney General's Chambers AGC in order to expand its investigations across the causeway in Singapore.
Permohonan melalui Singapura kepada negara luar memerlukan kelulusan AGC, dan tetapi kita juga telah membuat juga intelligence network dengan pihak Singapura bagi memesan pihak yang terbabit.
Earlier, Azam had said that the MACC was on the hunt for 3 individuals suspected of being involved in the case, including a Singaporean who was believed to be the mastermind. He explained that the police would cooperate with their Singaporean counterparts to track down the individual. Azam said the MACC was also investigating the possible involvement of other individuals and would be making further arrests if necessary. In another case, another bank officer was arrested by the MACC for allegedly working with a syndicate to sell land owned by the Federal Land Development Authority, FELDA, in Malacca. According to a source, the 40-year-old man is believed to be the mastermind to help open a bank account under the false name of FELDA.
The action is to enable the syndicate to conduct sales and purchase transactions with buyers. The suspect was arrested when he appeared to have his statement recorded at the Sabah MACC office at 9:45 p.m. on Wednesday. The bank officer's arrest came after the arrest of 8 other individuals involving 6 men and 2 women, some in the federal capital. Those arrested are bank officers, brokers, company directors, and members of the public who are suspected of conspiring to receive nearly 2 million ringgit in bribes from the syndicate. 16 individuals, including a senior official and 2 FELDA staff, have had their conversations recorded so far. Meanwhile, MACC Anti-Money Laundering AML Division Director Datuk Muhammad Zamri Zainal Abidin confirmed the arrest of the 9th suspect.
Construction lorries and tour buses are not given diesel subsidies because they are not on the list of the consumer goods category. Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fook said diesel subsidies are only given to lorries in the cargo transport category.
Lori yang berkenaan dengan pembinaan itu tak ada. Memang tak ada. Tak ada, itu tak ada dalam kategori. Bas pelancongan, I think so far they will of course pass through the cost, some of the thing to the industry. Sebab itu melibatkan industri. Dia bukannya directly kepada barangan pengguna. Okay, nanti statement.
Discussions will be held between the Tourism, Arts and Culture Ministry and tour bus operators to see how they can be helped during the transition period. Currently, the ministry is in talks with the Finance Ministry and bus operators, including school bus operators, with regards to increasing quota for diesel subsidy. Greece shuts schools and Acropolis as it braces for heat wave. News from the foreign front when we return.
Nombor 7, Jalan Tipa. Sumbang Jaya, Selangor. Selamat datang ke Jamuan Syam Suara.
Ada drama baru lah kat Facebook. Nak download lah tu. Ingat jangan download ataupun share laman web Cetak Rompak. Jangan.
Kunci perubahan dan permulaan baharu dalam hidup bermula dengan keinsafan. Air mata malaikat maut 7 Jun. Kiswah Kaabah 14 Jun. Tuli Karena meninggalkan Syalat Subuh 21 Jun. Surga untuk Isteriku 28 Jun. Sama-sama renungi di slot naluri Jun ini setiap Jumaat 3 petang di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with foreign news. Zionist helicopters struck Gaza's Rafah on Thursday as Hamas reported street battles in the southern city after top U.S. diplomat Antony Blinken said a truce was still possible. According to reports, western areas of Rafah came under heavy Zionist fire from the air, sea and land. At least 5 Palestinians were killed and 17 wounded in attacks on 2 homes in Nuseirat refugee camp, while reports say Zionist forces used explosives to destroy buildings in the center of Rafah. Meanwhile, the White House said it viewed the ceasefire deal for the Gaza Strip as still possible based on Hamas's latest response to an American-backed plan. In a statement, Hamas said it was negotiating in good faith and urged the Israeli government to publicly signal its support for the deal. Now, Greece has shut the site of the ancient Acropolis to tourists, closed schools and stationed medics across Athens on Wednesday as it faces the first heat wave of the summer. Temperatures were expected to hit 43 degrees Celsius on Wednesday and Thursday in parts of the Mediterranean country, driven by southerly winds bringing hot air and dust from North Africa. One of the world's most famous archaeological sites, the Acropolis Hill, was closed from noon to 5 p.m. local time. Many primary schools and nurseries across the country have also been told to close for 2 days. Meanwhile, firefighters and police were patrolling forests from air and land ahead of what is expected to be a windy end to the week, raising the risk of fires spreading. Saudi Arabia's Meteorology Office has issued a set of guidelines on Thursday for pilgrims now gathered in the kingdom to perform the annual Hajj pilgrimage that starts Friday amid high temperatures. The National Center of Meteorology, NCM, has advised the pilgrims to avoid direct exposure to the sun, especially at the peak time from noon to 3 p.m. local time. NCM also advised the pilgrims to follow up on weather updates and follow weather-related instructions. Meanwhile, Saudi authorities have sought to reduce the impact of scorching heat by cooling roads, pedestrians' walkways, and installing misting fans and umbrellas at the holy places. More than 1.5 million Muslims from around the world have already arrived in the kingdom, and more are expected to converge in Saudi Arabia in the run-up to Hajj. G7 leaders on Thursday agreed at a summit in Italy on a new $50 billion loan for Ukraine using profits from frozen Russian assets. The decision came after the European Union agreed earlier this year to use the profits from the interest on Russian central bank assets frozen by Western allies after Moscow's February 2022 invasion of Ukraine. However, the idea at the G7 is to use the money to provide more and faster help through a massive upfront loan. The loan would be eventually repaid with the future profits, although there is a risk that the funding stream dries up if the assets are unfrozen, for example, in the event of a peace deal. The group was also unanimous in their concern over China's industrial overcapacity, which it says is distorting global markets. The G7 comprises of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Seven national shuttlers storm into quarters. Action from the Australian Open when we come back.
It's
It's time for progress and drive change together.
Women play a critical part in their communities, right? When we empower a woman through their businesses, their income improves, they're better able to support themselves, their children, and now also better able to play a role in supporting their communities.
Just do it, because you can't have that kind of self-doubt out there for you to do it. You know, what's the worst that can happen?
Catch Women Talk this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3, live stream on Tonton.
Tersimpan dalam kejauhan, tidak semudah itu hati Ariana melepaskan Hanif pergi.
Anak kau tak layak kawan dengan anakku. Aku dah cakap dengan kau kan, jangan pergi jumpa Hanif lagi.
Tolong jangan cerep lagi.
Berlalunya waktu, takdir seakan tidak merestuinya.
Kau tak tahu kenapa Ariana jadi macam ni, sebab kau.
Ariana tu anak kepala gangster. Hanya cakap bagi buat dia.
2 darjat setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat 7 malam di Akasia TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Sports now, badminton, the 2024 Australian Open. Li Zijia led a group of national top shuttlers into the quarterfinals after eliminating their respective opponents in the second round on Thursday.
The world number 8 needed only 41 minutes to claim a 21-18, 21-14 win over compatriot Sung Ju Ven in the Super 500 tournament. The 26-year-old will take on 7th-seeded Kenta Nishimoto of Japan next. Zijia was joined by 6 other Malaysian representatives, including rising men's doubles pair Chung Hun Jian, Muhammad Haikal Nazri. The duo outclassed home pair Anish Nirmal Emmanuel Stephen Sam 21-12, 21-8 to set up a last 8 tie against another Australian duo, Rizky Hidayat, Frankie Wijayaputra. Meanwhile, national mixed doubles pair Tan Kian Meng, Lai Pei Jing had no problem beating Adam Jeffrey, Justine Villegas of Australia 21-7, 21-7. The 5th seeds will lock horns with Hon Jian Go Pei Ki after the national duo triumphed over Australian pair Timotheus Elbert, Maureen Clarissa Wijaya 21-14, 21-6.
On to tennis, the 2024 Stuttgart Open. Francis Tiafoe began the title defense with a straight sets victory against home favorite Yannick Hanfmann on Wednesday.
The 4th seed, however, had to battle for an hour and 53 minutes to clinch a 7-5, 7-6 victory against the German. Next up for the American is 6th-seeded Jack Draper, who overcame Marcos Giron in 3 sets to reach the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Lorenzo Musetti fought tooth and nail before claiming a hard-fought 6-7, 7-6, 6-3 victory against Germany's Dominik Kopfer. Awaiting the Italian is Alexander Bublik, who made it to the last 8 relatively comfortably, beating wildcard Hamad Medjedovic 6-1, 7-6.
Turning to football now, the international friendlies. The United States stopped an 11-game losing streak to Brazil on Wednesday with a spirited 1-1 draw, leaving them with a positive mindset heading into the 2024 Copa America.
Brazil, however, were the first to find the net through rising star Rodrigo in the 17th minute. The U.S. fought back and found the equalizer through Christian Pulisic's brilliant free kick 9 minutes later to salvage the 1-1 draw. Brazil owns an 18-1 record against the U.S., with its only loss coming on February 10th, 1998. Despite the draw, the result and the performance were both positive for the U.S. team after they were humbled 1-5 by Colombia last Saturday.
Teens denied bail in vocational college student murder case. The details after this short break.
Pembunuhan yang mencetuskan tanda tanya.
Kes apa, bos?
Kelibat lelaki misteri mendorong Fatima untuk merungkai setiap inci kes.
Difahamkan mangsa ditemui dalam keadaan mengerikan. Boleh terangkan?
Respect sikit boleh tak?
Biarpun ada yang cuba menutup kebenaran.
Dijerut dengan apa, Wak?
I deserve the story.
Metro Crime Series mulai 15 Jun, Khamis hingga Sabtu 9 malam. Di Lestari TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Tips mengubat hati terluka cara telefilm 10 malam di TV3 Jun ini.
Apa? Sama ada nak bercerai dengan you ke tak?
Sambut hari lahir insan tersayang.
Lagi hari berapa detik?
Menunaikan permintaan terakhir ibu.
Bagi budaya ya.
Jangan ada benci.
Ayah ada apa-apa yang ayah tak berkenan dengan syariat.
Sembuhkan hati yang terluka di Telefilm TV3 setiap Jumaat 10 malam dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Thanks for staying with us. In Johor, a gardener who had been jailed twice in the past under the Security Offences Special Measures Act SOSMA has been charged with supporting and possessing items related to the Islamic IS group. 31-year-old Muhammad Sani Madi Saha was charged with 3 counts of committing the offence before Judge Irwan Zuain Bon at the Muar Sessions Court on Thursday. No plea was recorded because any charge under SOSMA is under the jurisdiction of the High Court. The father of one was alleged to have supported the IS terrorist group via Facebook account on December 19th last year. He also allegedly had in his possession 3 pictures that were blurred with its caption stating that the person is loyal to an IS leader and a program to commemorate a militant incident related to IS. Both offences were allegedly committed on the same Facebook platform on March 26th and April 30th. The charges under the Penal Code provide a jail term of up to 40 years or a fine, and the property used to commit the offence could be seized. The court did not offer bail and set July 30th for remention. In Sabah, the Tawau High Court has denied the bail application of 7 teenage boys charged with the murder of a 17-year-old vocational college student in Lahad Datu pending the next case hearing. Judge Duncan Sikodo ruled that there were no special circumstances justifying the granting of bail in the case. The judge in his ruling added that the application was premature since the case has not been transferred to the High Court yet, where the applicants will have the opportunity to file their application. Deputy Public Prosecutors Herman Hussein and Eng Juntao appeared for the prosecution, while all the accused were represented by Ram Singh, Kamaruddin Chinki, Amirul Amin Rashid and Chen Wenjai. Earlier in the proceedings, lawyer Dato' Ram Singh, representing the accused, requested to apply the Child Act 2001 on the applicants, given they did not fall under Section 388(1) of the Criminal Procedure Code, which is only applicable to those under 16 years of age, women, and sick or infirm persons. The main reason for bail was primarily for the applicants to continue their vocational certificate, but that is no longer possible, as averred by the director of the vocational college. On May 16th, the Lahad Datu Magistrates Court scheduled June 27th for the next case mention. On April 2nd, the 13 teenage boys aged between 16 and 19 were jointly charged in the Lahad Datu Magistrates Court with the murder of 17-year-old Nazmi Aizat Narul Azwan in March, but no plea was recorded. They allegedly murdered the victim at the Lahad Datu Vocational College between 9 p.m. on March 21st and 7:38 a.m. on March 22nd. In Malacca, a 25-year-old man has been arrested after allegedly carrying out a firebomb attack for a Singapore-based loan shark syndicate at a residence in Alor Gajah on June 6th. Malacca Police Chief Dato' Zainal said a team of police officers managed to track the suspect to his home in Taman Kok Lian, Kuala Lumpur before the arrest was made on Wednesday night. Zainal said during interrogation, the suspect admitted to throwing the Molotov cocktail, which also ignited a car on the property. The car's owner, a 38-year-old woman, had filed a report at the Kuala Sungai Baru police station on the day of the incident. The suspect confessed to being directed by the boss of an illegal money-lending racket to commit the act and was paid 1,000 ringgit. The 25-year-old also admitted to a similar previous attack in Sitiawan, Perak. The suspect is being held under the Penal Code for committing mischief by fire with intent to cause damage. Police have confiscated various items, including his mother's car, as part of the investigation. As Nightline draws to a close this time around, let's take a look as washed ashore plastic ocean debris sculpted into 35 sea life sculptures is put on display at the New York Aquarium with goals to educate the public about plastic pollution in the ocean and inspire change. With that, I'm Sabrina Zainal. Thank you for tuning in and be safe.